Hello everyone and welcome back to my Bold and Beautiful 29 YouTube channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Still, give me a call if you suppose that maternity test proved Bold and Beautiful's Bill is Luna's natural father. I've a ground, located in beautiful Brooklyn, New York, that I suppose you'll be interested in. The only real question in my mind is why prevaricated, and I am 100% sure that a whole lot of suckers won't like the answer. There are many reasons I don't believe for alternate that Bill is Luna's pater. The biggest of which is that it's the least dramatic outgrowth possible. The whole point of cleaner operas is to keep people tuning in day after day, and the way to do that's to make sure that at every occasion, you're redoing the most dramatic thing possible. When opening a box, will it be empty or contain a rattlesnake? So why, exactly, did Lee so dramatically fit herself into this story? For the same reason all cleaner pieces characters do everything, she had a vested interest in the outgrowth. It's commodity the show suggested at months agone. And, when we picked up on it, let's just say observers in general, and Steffi/Finn suckers in particular, were let's go with dissatisfied. I hear you out there, gentle anthology, asking, why would Lee do that? And if she really did mess with the maternity test results, why is she so bent out of shape that they revealed Bill to be the pater? To which I say she's not. She, like portrayer Naomi Matsuda, is acting. But the results came out exactly the way she wanted them to in order to cover Finn. That's right, I still believe that Finn is the father. It's the only reason Lee would not only go to all this trouble, but it also explains why she would, in substance, give her family a happy ending. I suspected this the moment Lee slogged in, but then's what really started me allowing why did the Penns make such a big deal about Lee having been in Bill's home in the history, after he saved her life? Because she's had commodity of his ever ago, whether concurrently or as part of her own long-term contingency plan, which she used to alter the DNA tests. I am 100% sure that at some point, we will see a flashback proving that Lee D formerly run the maternity test using Bill's DNA as well as that of one of his other children. Presumably Liam, given that Wyatt's off the oil. That's why Lee didn't push to have the test done at the sanitarium. Reports run at the sanitarium would be far more detailed and complicated than the home DNA test used then, which was principally a glorified gestation test. Ridge, sit down. We need to have a talk. Because I am seriously concerned about your decision-making chops. Are you still suffering the consequences of having been struck in the head by a pine cone last time? Because that's the only way I can explain you asking Brooke to Kimiko CEO of Forrester without so important as consulting with Steffi. It defies sense on every position. And also there's what he said to Brooke about the implicit conflict. Steffi wasn't happy with me, but in the end it all worked out. He said of the hope for the unborn issue indeed as his son was fuming about having been overruled. He followed that brilliant bit of sapience up with, the two of you, running this company together? I suppose it'll be great. What company would deliberately produce conflict between its co-CEOs? Thankfully, Brooke was smart enough to fate the threats and to reject her hubby's offer. I can't help but wonder if she'll change her mind. Still, give what we formerly bandied about detergents always taking the most dramatic route possible. In this case, that would surely be Steffi and Brooke working together. Are Carter and Katie still a thing? We no way see them together. And if they want to propel Katie back into Bill's story, why not use the maternity test as a way to end her and Carter? They could have had Carter be present when Katie set up out about Bill's new son. Go Carter's portrayer Lawrence St. Victor, who's also a member of the jotting staff, could have written some beautiful material in which his after pride told Katie that her response to the news made it enough clear that she's still not over her partner. As I ask every week at this time, wonder what Paris is over to these days, other than hanging out in the opening credits? I am glad Carter was at least mentioned as a CEO seeker. Honestly, he's presumably more good than Ridge, Steffi, or Brooke. And shouldn't Eric have been brought into the conversations? Or Thomas? Sure, he's over in Paris licking his injuries, but couldn't he work ever? He said he couldn't work with /for Hope, but couldn't he handle other aspects of the business? Quotation of the week had to be Hope declaring to Steffi, like it or not, the Logans are then to stay. Why? Because I know that half the followership cheered upon hearing it, and the other half bristled. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers for Wednesday, June 5, 2024, reveal Luna getting some big news, but is it indeed true? What did Lee Finnegan do? The DNA results are in and everyone gathers around in Bone Bill Spencer's living room to discover whether Bill is Luna Nozawa's father or not. Lee Finnegan administered and oversaw the tests and she surely doesn't want Poppy Nozawa to end up with Bill. Still, will Lee indeed tell them or will she lie? She's a sneaky bone. As we all know from the time she kept John Finnegan alive and didn't indeed tell his own woman that her hubby was dead after all, if the DNA tests say that Bill is the pater. Bill and Luna might get some bad news, but that news may not be the verity. Does Poppy figure out what her judgmental family is also over to? Hope Logan makes a oath. Hope Logan is still storming frenetic that Steffi Forrester Finnegan wants to shut down Hope for the future for good. She knows it's not making plutocrat, but she blames Steffi for that too, considering the fact that Steffi transferred Thomas Forrester to Europe and Thomas is supposedly the only developer that can make the fashion line work. Hope promises to make Steffi pay for ruining everything for her. From her love with Thomas to her design line, Steffi takes it all and has no guilt. But what if Hope takes commodity from Steffi? Ridge Forrester's big offer. Ridge Forrester feels like he's caught in the middle between Steffi and Hope and needs to make a decision presto. To that end, he does commodity gathering and makes Brooke Logan quite an offer. Does she want to be co-CEO of Forrester Creations again? Brooke isn't relatively sure what to say. And who'll she be replacing? Steffi or him? Ridge can't conceivably suppose it's a good thing to have Brooke and Steffi work together, especially when Steffi wants to kill Brooke's son's line. What's Ridge really over to? Hope might be stunned if her mama votes with Steffi to get relief of the fashion line. Indeed, though, it seems like it's particular. Carter Walton backed up Steffi's claim. So, Brooke might not have a choice but to side with Steffi on the fashion line issue. While Brooke will just be handling business, Hope could view it as a treason. B&B spoilers, coming 2 weeks during the week of June 10, 2024, suckers can also anticipate to see the fate of the maternity test. It seems poised that Bill will be Luna's father, at least according to this home maternity test. So, everyone might reel from that news, including Katie. In fact, we've a feeling that Katie's obsession on Boppy might lead to Carter ending the love. Plus, what happens if Hope loses her fashion line? If Hope feels her mama has betrayed her, it could lead to her joining forces with Sheila, so stay tuned. Which plot are you looking forward to seeing the most in the coming 2 weeks? Partake your studies in the comment section below.